and they must have taught you on the topics that we'll be reviewing today. I don't know if that has been covered, but today is just a recap and of the topic and the likely questions and topics you are going to see on the SC-900 exam when you want to go and write it. Um, okay, Oyimafu, please, can you enable the screen share? Okay, thank you very much for that. All right, I'll be going ahead to share my screen, so we'll go over the topics together. Just give me a minute. Uh, please, can you also gray out enable the camera because I'm trying to share the screen, but it's not sharing.
You can try now. I've enabled it.
Sorry. Just give me a minute. Seems like it's still not working. Hold on, please.
Hello, good evening.
No, I'm
Yeah, good
still
evening.
here.
Good evening. Yes.
Okay, apologies for that. I don't know my screen. I'm still not able to share the screen. But while I'm working on it to be able to share the screen, I'll just go over the topic. So today we'll be talking on SC-900 skills measured summary. Sorry, just bear with me. I'm trying to understand why I'm not able to share my screen from here. Okay, sorry, I don't know. I'm going to join from another Teams. Sorry, bear with me. I think from that Teams I can share my screen there. Sorry, I'm going to leave the meeting and join again, but I'll join with another account so I can share my screen. I sincerely apologize for the inconveniences. Sorry about that. Hello everybody. Sorry. Can you all see my screen?
Yes, I can see your screen.
Yes.
Yes.
Sorry. Okay. Thank you very much. I sincerely apologize for the delay. I was trying to troubleshoot on why I wasn't able to share my screen initially. So, but today we're okay. Thank you very much for your patience and also for your understanding. Today, like I said, we'll be going through SC-900 review and exam prep. And today I'm going to talk about the topics that are covered in the exam, which is one, describe the concept of security, compliance, and identity, which is 10 to 15% of the exams. And the topics under these are define what authentication is all about, authorization, and Active Directory, defense in depth. I don't know if these topics have been treated before now. Can you all answer if it has been treated before now?
Yes.
Okay, thank you very much for that. So we'll be going through the recap, some sample questions, and also for you to prepare for this exam, you have to go through the Microsoft Learn for this SC-900. You have to read through it. For Microsoft, the practice assessment that is under the exam, you have to go through the practice test until you are able to pass and get more than 80% of the question, answer more than 80% of it, which is if you're able to get more than 80%, which means if you're going to go, when you're going to write the exam, you're obviously going to pass the exam. Also, you have to make use of YouTube videos. You can, if you are not yet following Naija Security channel on YouTube, I advise you to do that because in that platform, in that channel, you see a lot of videos that have been treated on these topics that we are going to write in your exams. And also, what else? Also go through LinkedIn. Get some. Also, you also see people that post a lot of questions and topics on this security and compliance and identity, which that is going to be covered in the exam. So I advise every one of us who are here to write the exam to do this. It will help you pass the exam. The exam is actually easy, but if you are not well prepared, you are actually not going to pass the exam. Sometimes because of his fundamental, some people think that because of his fundamental, it's just basic questions they are going to ask you. But sometimes when you get to the exam hall, you find some tricky questions which, if you do not prepare well for the exam, you're going to actually fail it. It's as easy as it sounds. Fundamentals, people actually fail them. But I don't want that to be your own situation. So you have to prepare well. I'm also going to add to the Teams group the link to the videos, some Microsoft videos on these topics, and also the Microsoft Learn for SC-900. All right. Okay. So the tips I'm going to be share, I'll share some tips, then we'll go through some sample questions on this topic. So for the skill, which is describe the concept of security, compliance, and identity, we have zero trust model, and I believe that we all know what zero trust model is, and uh, which is simply trust no one and verify everything. Because somebody is a global administrator does not mean that you should not verify the person, or you should not let the person make use of multi-factor authentication or any form of security that be implemented in your organization. Because some people, they believe that as a global admin, I trust this person, so this person will not obviously compromise our data or our security. But that's a lie. We get a lot of those uh, issues from customers where I work, where some global admin do some things and they're trying to find out which global admin did the actions. So after that, they realize that we also explain all this, that you shouldn't trust your workers or somebody you gave a global admin access. You should put some security checks on the person. You shouldn't just trust the person because you just know the person, but always verify everything. So zero trust model operates on the principle of trust no one, verify everything. It assumes everything is an open and untrusted network, even resources behind the firewalls of the corporate network. So what do we verify? We verify the devices, we verify the applications, we verify identities. Everything needs to be checked at all times whenever the person is logging into the company's data. So moving forward, also we have encryption. I believe we know what encryption is all about. Is that correct? Do you know what encryption is all about? And somebody tell me so far what they've learned on encryption. Hello? Hello, is anybody there? I actually want this class to be interactive, not just me talking, because this is a recap. I'm not actually here to teach. I'm here to just go through what has been taught
Okay.
already, more like a recap.
Okay.
So
For encryption, it's like protecting the data from easily picking up. That is, you can't read it easily. That is to be encoded. So you need to be encoded into this file. There should be encoding and encryption before you do it. Make it to be kind of hide it from normal reading. You can't read it easily unless you use the decipher to decipher it.
all right, yeah, that's actually correct. Yes, encryption is all about making data unreadable until it gets to the person who is authorized to read it. That's when it becomes readable. So we have two top level types of encryption. We have symmetric and asymmetric. Symmetric uses the same key to encrypt and decrypt the data, while asymmetric uses a public key and private keys pair. So moving forward, we also have uh, encryption. Also, what encryption may protect data at rest is not only on transit. You can also encrypt data at rest, which is simply uh, data at rest are data that are files and documents. Then data in transit are emails that you are sending to somebody. You encrypted while it's on transit, even while it has reached the person's mailbox, it's still encrypted. So you can encrypt data that are at rest, which is files and documents that is on your system, and data in transit are emails and any form of uh, activity or data that is being transferred via networks. So that's what data in transit mean. And also moving forward, well, we have also 4 pillars of identity. We have administration, which is creating users, or like managing users and identity. We have authentication, verifying that this person is who they say they are. Then authorization is giving access to the person after authenticating that, okay, after saying that this person is who he says he is. Then authorization is access. You give the person access to the data. And auditing is more like policing or checking whatever activities and tracking activities the person who you gave access to, whatever the person is doing with your data. That's what auditing is all about. You just monitor the person's activities of what the person has done with your data or within your organization. That's what auditing is. So these are 4 pillars of identity. So now, sorry. Okay, administration, like I said, is about the creation and management of identities for users, devices, and services. We also have our authentication. Like I said, the authentication tells the story of how much assurance for a particular identity is enough. More like, okay, who is this person? Does the picture matches what is in the system? Does the name matches what is in the system? And when this person do biometric, does it match what has been recorded in the system? That's what authentication is all about. It's more like verifying that this person, whatever this person is saying he is actually who he is. And if that person is allowed to access your data, then that's where authorization comes in. It gives the person access to the uh, data. Then auditing is tracking what the person does, when and where and how the person makes use of your data and your network. So now we'll be going through some sample questions under this concept of security and compliance, and we are going to go through them together. So you're just going to go and tell me the answers. Then if it's right, I'll say it's right, and if it's wrong, I'll let you know, if that's okay. So number one question will be, which of the following best describes encryption? Please, you can drop your answers on the chat if you know the answer. A, converting data into a readable format. B, converting data into an unreadable format for unauthorized users. C, storing data without any protection, using passwords only for data protection. And can somebody tell me which one is the correct answer?
B.
B is the answer. B.
Okay, that's correct. B, converting data into an unreadable format for unauthorized users. So I don't know if anybody have any question on that, on encryption. Okay, if there is none, well, also we have number 2 question. What is the primary principle of the zero trust security model? A, trust all internal users by default. B, assume all users and devices are trusted. C, never trust, always verify. D, use only perimeter-based security. Which one is the answer?
C. C. Never trust, always verify.
C.
Thank you very much for that. Thank you very much. Number 3, which principle ensures users have only the permission they need? A, least privilege. B, defense in depth. C, zero trust, the encryption.
A. Least
Okay, very
privilege.
much. Thank you.
Least privilege.
Yes, that's the correct answer. Thank you very much. Okay, number 4, what does authorization determine? A, who the user is. B, what actions the user can perform. B, C, how data is encrypted. And D, whether the network is secure.
A. Who the user is.
What action the user can
What
perform?
the action the user can perform?
The answer is
No, who
A.
the user is.
B. The answer is B.
Who the user is.
A.
Yes.
Is B. The answer is B. The for A is for
Authentication
authorization.
is who the user is.
Answer is
Authentication.
A. Who
Is authorization who the user is. Sorry, what does the authorization determine is what the user can do.
Okay,
Permission is-
authorization.
Okay, authorization. Yes,
The
authorization.
authorization is the permission
A.
that
What?
the user can. So for number 4, the answer is what actions can the user perform, which is B.
Okay, actually, the answer is B. The person that says B is correct because it's what action authorization is. Or like I said earlier, authorization is access. What can this person do? Which means the access you are giving the person, who the user is authentication.
Yes, thank you.
Is that correct? Do we understand that now?
Yes.
Very well.
Authentication is who you are. I'm trying to say I want to verify that you said you are Mr. Emeka. So authentication is I'm verifying that you are Mr. Emeka. I'm authenticating, I'm making it legit that you are Mr. Emeka. Authorization is access. What access am I giving to you? What actions do you have? So it's what actions the user can perform is access. Is this person a global admin? It's more like his authorization. I'm giving you a global admin right, which means I'm giving you an authority to perform this kind of action to manage my organization. So that's what B is the answer. What actions the user can perform. So are we clear on that? Or is it still confusing?
Yes.
Very clear.
Yeah, thank you very much. Okay, number 5. Which encryption method uses the same key for encryption and decryption?
Symmetric.
Is B
Symmetric.
symmetric?
Symmetric.
Yes, B, symmetric encryption. Thank you
Encryption.
very much.
Symmetric.
Thank you for active participation. Okay, number 6. Which of the following is an example of authentication? Now we are coming to
Verifying
Verifying
users'
users.
identity with a
Verify the
password.
user identity with a password.
exactly is
Verifying
verifying
users'
user.
identity with a password. B.
Thank you. That's correct. I'm happy that we're able to understand the difference between authorization and authentication. Yes, sometimes it can be confusing. Even when you get to the exam, they might give you a tricky question on that, and you spend some time wondering which one it is. Actually, we it's very easy to to mistake the two of them is very easy. But if you understand what both of them actually is, you can easily answer the question in the exam. This one is a bit easier. In the exam, you might see a harder trick. They might make it more trickier for you to know which one is they're trying to talk about. Okay, number 7. Which of these is not a layer in defense in depth strategy? A,
It's
physical
D.
security.
Ignore user training.
Yes, thank you very much.
Ah,
Okay, number 8. Which of the following is considered a common cybersecurity threat? A,
Phishing
multi-factor
attack.
Phishing attack.
authentication. Yes, that's correct.
Phishing
Thank you
attack.
very much.
Yeah.
Okay, number 9. In zero trust, what is the role of continuous verification? I know we've been taught with zero trust, so which one is the answer?
Verify
Verify
identity and
identity
Verify
only
device
identity
once.
continuously.
continuously.
Verify
And device health
identity
continuously.
and device
Verify
health
identity and device
continuously.
continuously.
The answer is B.
Is
B.
B. Verify identity and
Okay.
device health
B.
continuously.
Yes, that's correct. Verify identity and device health continuously. That's very correct. Thank you very much. We've covered for section 1 of this exam, which is the concept of security, compliance, and identity. Any questions so far on what we've done on this first section? Any question? I should move forward.
No questions. Yes, please.
All right.
No
Thank you very
question.
much. Okay. The second skill that will be measured in the exam is describe the capabilities of Microsoft Identity and Access Management solutions. And under this, we have what is Azure Active Directory. You will see questions on that. You see questions on hybrid identity, what is all about. Then you also see questions on self-service password reset, different authentication methods. Also, multi-factor authentication, describe Windows Hello for business. You see questions on that, and also PIM, which is privileged identity management. You also see questions on Azure AD identity protection, identity governance. We also see questions on that, and that will be 30 to 35% of, which is more than the first one. So you actually see questions on that. So I believe by now they've covered topics on this. So if they've not, I don't know how far they've gone. I will advise everyone, like I said, make use of the resources that is available, which is your Microsoft Learn on this exam. SC-900, you see the Microsoft Learn, and under the Microsoft Learn, we'll also go through it on this class. You see the practice assessments. Keep going through the practice assessment until you are able to get more than 80%. Your score should be more than 80%. Anytime you finish the assessment, your score should be more than 80%. It will give you more advantage to passing the exam, knowing that okay, you know what you're going to do or write in the exam. So some tips. We have Microsoft Identity Solution, which is spans on-premises and cloud-based capabilities. That's why it's called hybrid identity. When a user is on-prem, and also you can find the user also on cloud. That's what hybrid identity is all about. While cloud identity is when the user is only on the web. It does not have any on-premises identity or presence. So that's what hybrid identity is all about. I believe we know that by now. So multi-factor authentication is a process in which users are prompted during the sign-in process for an additional form of identification, such as code on their cell phone or a fingerprint. So multi-factor authentication after your password. Sometimes people used to think that multi-factor authentication is when you are prompted to put in your password, but that's not actually MFA. MFA is after the password, which is more like you might be asked for a face identification or fingerprint or OTP. Sometimes you want to make payments, your bank will prompt you to add an OTP, that is a form of MFA. Or sometimes you might try to log into someone's system, you are seeing that a fingerprint is required, or a PIN code, which is not the password, is also required. Those are multi-factor authentication. Something you know, typically password, that one is the first layer. Something you have, such as a trusted device that is not easily duplicated, like a form or hard key. We also have biometrics like a fingerprint or face key. We also have what we call pass key. Those ones are also, they are all codes. Those ones use code. That's what multi-factor authentication is all about. And okay, we have RBAC, Azure Role-Based Access Control, which is where where you give access to people according to the role they play in your organization. You can't just give your workers or your staffs, everybody, the same access. If not, there will be no form of security check who did this or who did that, because everybody have access to everything. You cannot know who has done something in your organization. So that's why this role-based access control came about. It helps you manage who has access to Azure resources, what they can do with those resources, and what areas they have access to. So, hello. Sorry, can you mute yourself? You're speaking.
Yeah, we are hearing you.
All right. That's it for the tips. We are moving into the questions and answer for this skill, which is describe the capabilities of Microsoft Identity and access management solutions. So the first question will be.
I have a question
All
over
right.
the questions.
All
There's
right.
something you talked about the rollback access control, right? You said
Yes.
something about the rollback. You said something about the rollback access control. So you said that is done so that they will know who and who did a particular thing in the organization. So then I asked, what of the auditing? Auditing also can help you to understand who did what. So if they give people access to so many things, can they not use audits to be able to identify who did what and what in the organization? That's my question.
Yes. Okay, the question you asked is valid. Yes, you can use audit to know, but most times the reason why the rollback comes into play is that you can't just keep auditing everybody. So to limit you having to audit everybody, you have to separate the roles, so that you know that if I don't give you this role and you are having access to it, I can scrutinize you on why are you having access, or why what's the reason of you making use of this data. So it's more like that's why the need for this rollback access control. It's more like, fine, everybody, I can give everybody in my organization global admin rights, but it doesn't make sense. It doesn't help security with security. Yes, I can audit it, but it's too much work. So to limit that too much work, I have to give rule. Okay, I don't want you to have access to my payroll. So it's why I limit you to maybe an exchange admin, which is just the mailbox. So if maybe one day I see you having access to the mail, I can easily, without doing audit on you, that alone, you have breached security. That alone. So, but that's why this rollback is necessary. Audit can capture who did this, who did that, and what they did. But most times, because of some organizations, the too much work that the audit has to do, and sometimes auditing too, is not all the time. Like some people can actually do some things and breach the auditing, not capturing it. But if I don't have that rule and I see you there, it's more like you don't have access to go into to where they keep money in the bank and somebody sees you there. I don't need to audit you. Your presence there is a breach of security.
Okay.
So
I understand.
yes, is why they are back. So I don't have to come and start doing auditing, start calling people, please assess what this person has done. No, it's just more like an easy way of doing things other than auditing everybody. That's why the RBAC is very important.
Okay.
So
But you just said a
is that clear?
very strict. Yes, very
Yeah.
clear. But you just made a statement that is very shocking to me. I'm scared
Hello,
of that
good
statement.
afternoon.
Which
Good afternoon,
Sorry.
everyone.
what
Okay. You
was the
just said
statement?
you just say some person can do something and they can manipulate. You cannot even know in the auditing. It's possible like that.
Hello, good
It's dangerous.
afternoon, madam.
Yeah. Yes. Sometimes like when it comes to auditing, it's people that do auditing and it's still human being that breach security.
Of course. I
Well, coming
understand.
to tech too, auditing too is a tool. And sometimes the network might go down at some certain time. I'm bringing it both in human nature and in the IT world. It's not the time. Auditing is still uses network, so it's not the time that the network will, the server will be there to capture your activity. You understand?
I do.
But
I understand.
if if you don't have access to, if I don't give you access there, and I see you there, I don't care what you did there. You've already breached security.
It's true. It's
So
true.
whether you stole or not, I've captured you. I've captured you. Is why
It's true.
that rollback is very important. Because even in human nature, if an audit person might be auditing and miss some things, it happens.
Oh,
Same thing with IT is a tool. Sometimes it can come up. Sometimes you hear. That's why you sometimes hear the server went down. Some people do some
yeah.
things during when the server goes down. Exactly. But
Okay.
whether the server goes down or not, and I see you there, it's not about what you did. I don't care. Is that you don't have access to this? What are you doing there?
It's true.
That's just
It's true.
what our back is. So I hope that answers your question very well.
Very clear. Very clear. Very clear. Thank you very much. Yeah.
You're welcome. Thank you very much for the question. Any other person? Okay, we're moving on to the questions. Okay, which of the following best describes Azure Active Directory? A cloud-based identity and access management services. B, a local directory service on premises only. C, a firewall solution for Azure resources. D, a database for storing application data.
B, a
Can
local
anyone
directory
have?
service. C, for on-premise only.
Cloud-based identity and stuff.
Is actually a cloud-based.
A,
Azure
a cloud
is a
I said
Azure Active Directory is a
Oh,
is actually a Azure is a cloud-based identity and access management service. Yes. Why Active
but I thought
Directory
the
that
retired
does not
Active
have the
Directory in
Azure.
Azure. Chidinma, I thought they said the
I
retired
can hear you.
Active Directory in Azure. Like it's Azure, it's Microsoft Entra Azure, not Active Directory anymore.
Yes, that is for Microsoft, but Active Directory in general is just on premises, a local directory
Okay.
service on your device. Yes, that's what Active Directory is. But Azure Active Directory is the cloud-based Microsoft Active Directory, the cloud-based
Okay.
for yes, identity. So number 2, what is
I
hybrid
think
identity in Azure
Before you
AD?
go on, I have a question, please.
All right.
Can we say a Microsoft Azure is the same thing as Azure Active Directory?
Microsoft Azure is the same thing as Azure AD because they are the one that owns it. But but once you put Azure in front of it, you're not talking about the cloud-based. But if you say Active Directory, it's just the on-premise, the local directory in your device, in your system. Yes. But the moment you put Azure in front of it, becomes the cloud-based identity. So Azure
Okay,
is the
thank you.
cloud-based identity for the on-premises, which is the Active Directory.
Thank you.
So that's the
Hello.
difference between both of them.
Okay. Hello.
I can hear you.
Okay. Yeah.
All
Sorry.
right.
Can I just clarify that? I think somebody was asking question about is this the Azure Active Directory? So I think if you guys can remember when we did introduction to Microsoft Entra, which I think I took that class. So the Azure Active Directory, formerly it was Azure Active Directory, but now it's now the Microsoft Entra. The Microsoft Entra. So which normally when you say so there is Active Directory and there is Azure Active Directory. So the Azure Active Directory is the one that is known as the Microsoft Entra ID, which is the cloud base, okay? And then the Active Directory is the one for the on-prem, okay? Is one for the on-prem. So when you go to your admin environment, when you click on that identity, we click on, so that is where it now takes us to the Entra ID environment. So it was formerly Azure Active Directory, but now it's known as the Microsoft Entra ID. So you don't get it mixed up. Yeah.
Thank you very much. That's clarified now.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Moving forward. Thank you very much for that. Also, number 2 question: what is hybrid identity in Azure AD? Can somebody tell me? A.
C.
C.
Identify
yes, that's correct.
Identity that synchronize between on-premise and cloud directories.
Yes, that's the correct answer. C. Also, number 3, what is the main purpose of conditional access in Azure AD?
B. To enforce
Yes,
access
that's correct.
policy based on conditions.
Like users, device, and location. Yes, that's correct. Thank you very much. Okay. All right. Okay, we have number 4. Which of the following is an example of MFA? Username only, password plus OTP sent to mobile or your email. I see password only.
Password plus OTP sent to mobile.
B.
Yes, that's correct.
Password and OTP sent to mobile.
That's very correct. Thank you very much. Okay, number 5. What does self-service password reset allow users to do? A. Reset their password without admin intervention. B. Disable MFA.
A.
Reset their password
Yes, that's
without
correct.
They reset their password without admin intervention.
Yes, that's correct. Thank you very much for that. Thank you everybody for your participation. Number 6. What does privileged identity management help with? A. Assigning permanent admin roles. B. Managing and controlling access.
Managing and controlling access to
That's
privileged
correct.
roles. Thanks.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, that's correct. B is the answer. Thank you very much for that. Number 7. Which of these is not an identity type in Azure AD? You can tell me which one is not an identity type.
Virtual machine.
Virtual machine.
Virtual
machine.
Yes, that's correct. Number 8. Which of the following is a benefit of Azure AD roles? You can tell me.
A. Provide least privilege.
Okay, who else? Is it correct?
Yeah.
A.
A. Provide least privilege access.
Yes, correct. Yeah.
Yes, that's correct.
And
Yes, that's very correct. Provide least privilege access. Yes. Okay, number 9.
What is the purpose of access review in AD Azure?
What is
the purpose of access review in Azure AD? All right. Does anyone know the answer?
conditional access for
B.
B. To ensure
ensure
users
users
access resources.
B. Is B. Ensure users still need access to resources.
B. Wait, what's the purpose of access review? To verify encryption. Is B now? I think B.
C.
to create a new conditional access policy. What is the purpose of access review? To review access to ensure access to access to resources. To create a new conditional access policy to enforce, or is D to enforce? I'm not even sure.
I don't
Please,
think we can hear
we're
again.
not hearing you again. No, we are not hearing you again.
You are muted.
Oh, sorry, I didn't know. Sorry about that.
Please, please,
So
you
what's
can
the
go back to
answer?
that
Person that is
question.
talking, can you mute? Can you
Go
unmute
back to the
yourself?
question.
Can you mute yourself? Okay. The last one, the answer is B. Sorry, I didn't know I was talking on mute. The answer is B. The answer is B. To ensure users.
Someone has their
still...
mic on. Can they unmute
Please,
themselves, please?
please, can you mute yourself, the person? Okay. Saint Charles, you are raising your hand. Do you have any question? Okay. Can you all hear me?
Can hear you.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So number 9, like I was saying, the answer is B, to ensure users still need access to resources. That's why there is access reviews. What this means is, for example, you have
I was
been
trying to say we are
promoted
not hearing you.
from. Oh,
I was trying to
you're
say
not
we are
hearing
not
me
hearing
again?
you. No, I'm hearing you now. I'm hearing
I
you.
hear you
I'm
now.
hearing you.
Okay.
We can hear you.
Okay. Sorry about. Okay. What access review means is, for example of access review is maybe for you have been promoted from a help desk staff to a manager. That's where access review comes in. So now what the system does is to add more access to your roles, which is, for example, you're no longer now going to see resources for your that is related to you now, because you're a manager. You have to have access to see what the people that are under you are doing. So that's when access review comes in. It reviews whether you have full access to perform your duty as a manager. So that's what it does, to ensure that users still need access to the resources. So all the resources you needed for you to perform your duty as a manager, the access review, what it does is to check whether you actually have those have access to those rules. Then it assigns it to you. Then, for example, if for somebody that moved from account department to HR department, access review comes in the play of, as an account, if you're working in an account, you have access to payroll and stuff like that. What the access review does is to make sure you don't have access to that, and make sure that you have access to documents and files related to HR department. It's just what it does. That's what access review. It reviews your role, then assigns you the role that is related to the work you're doing for the organization. I don't know if that's clear.
Yes, that's clear. Thank you.
All right. Yes. Okay. We'll be moving to the next, the third skill that will be measured, which is describe the capabilities of Microsoft security solutions. By now, we all know
I have a
that
question.
since we've been doing this. All right.
I have
What's
a
your
question.
question?
Okay, the question I want to
Go
ask is
on.
that, can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay,
Yes,
the
we
question I
can
want
hear
to ask
you.
is, the exam is going to be this, like this, A and B to answer, or something to write also, or just this objective, or do we need to write
It's
theory or
objective.
something throughout?
No, you're not writing theory. No, it's objective. That's why I'm asking you. That's why I'm giving you that format.
Okay.
It's just going to be
Okay.
this format.
Okay.
Then also,
Okay.
even
All right.
before we end the class, I'm going to also we'll go through the practice assessment that is in the SC-900, top exam in Microsoft Lens. So you also have take a look of the practice assessment. But also you also in the exam you see a drag and drop. I don't know if you know about that. Drag and drop. I think there's a demo there. We'll do the demo. Yes, I will show you what drag and drop is. So you also see stuff like that in the exam, but it's basically objective. You're not writing theory at all.
No problem.
Yes.
No problem. Yeah, thank you very much.
All right.
Just
Okay.
have to know.
You're welcome.
All right.
Okay, now we are moving to describe the capabilities of Microsoft security solutions. We have what is Azure Firewall. It's just what you're going to see in the exam is basically the basic part of this Microsoft security. You not see the in-depth part of it. They will ask you what devices that are the security that covers for devices, the security that covers for identity. You see questions like that. Describe what Intune is. Microsoft Intune. That's for endpoints. That's endpoint security. That's what it covers. Then you have Microsoft Secure Score, Defender Portal, the Sentinel, the Microsoft Sentinel, where you have the SOAR and the SDR and SIEM, and also the Defender services. These are topics that will be covered in the exam. Yes, so you just have to have idea of what this is all about. Then Azure encryption, that's what it's all about. So tips was network security groups, filter networks, network traffic to and fro Azure resources on Azure Visual Networks. So I don't know if I know you've been taught on network security groups. So that will be covered too. We also have the distributed denial of service. The aim of this is to attack is to overwhelm the resources on your applications and servers, making them unresponsive or slow for genuine users. Those attack will usually target any public-facing endpoint that can be accessed through the internet. Sorry, excuse me, just sorry. Sorry, excuse me. Okay, thank you very much for that. So the three most frequent types of DDoS attack are volumetric attacks, protocol attacks, resource layer attacks. Moving forward, will be the also tips describe the capabilities of. We also have the Azure DDoS protection service is designed to help protect your applications and servers by analyzing network traffic and discarding anything that looks like. And we have two types of, which is basic and standard. Okay, moving forward, we also have the Azure Firewall, which is a managed cloud-based network security service that protects your Azure Visual Network resource from attackers. So it's more that Azure Firewall is also more like the firewall which you have on your system, which that one is Defender. That's for Microsoft Defender is for your Microsoft 365. Then the Azure Firewall is for Azure Visual Network. Then so that's what the Azure Firewall is. Then Azure Version provides secure and seamless RDP, secure shell connectivity to your VMs directly from the Azure portal using transport layer security. Then moving on, we have the web application firewall which provides centralized protection of your web applications from common exploits and vulnerability. We also have a centralized web application firewall, which helps make security management simpler, improves the response time to a secure threat, and allow patching a known vulnerability in one place instead of securing each web application. So we're now moving to the question. So now these are the question. Which service provides enhanced security posture and compliance recommendations in Azure? Does anybody know?
C. A. Defender for cloud.
Anybody else?
I think it's D.
Are you sure?
I think it's C, Azure Firewall.
Okay, the person that says A is actually correct. Is Microsoft Defender for Cloud. Security posture and compliance recommendation here is Microsoft Defender for Cloud.
Sorry, you said the answer is what?
A.
Okay.
The answer is D.
The answer is what? You said what? Sorry.
The answer is A.
Okay,
Microsoft Defender for Cloud.
yes, the answer is A. Yes, Microsoft Defender for Cloud improves your security posture and compliance both on Azure hybrid and multi-cloud environments. That's why it's A.
Chidinma, I have a question.
Yes, I can.
All
right.
Now, what's the difference between Microsoft Defender for Cloud and Microsoft Defender XDR? Are they the same, or
Okay,
is there a
they're
difference
actually
between
the
both?
same. The XDR, the Microsoft Defender for Cloud is under XDR. XDR is more like a unified platform that covers the cloud, the which other one? The identity, which is the device endpoint.
Okay.
Then you have
Thank you for
Microsoft
that,
Defender
please.
for Office. So, but the
Because I
XDR
find
is
this
more like a
confusing at times.
unified.
I see XDR, I see for cloud, and it's just
No, XDR is what covers all of them, but you find the cloud, you find the office under it. Yes.
all right. Thank you.
All right, welcome. Number 2 is what is the purpose of Azure Network Security Group?
The answer is B.
B.
The answer is
Computer
B.
network traffic to and from other resources.
Yes, exactly. Thank you very much for that. Actually, it was in one of the slides. Number 3, which Azure feature helps protect against distributed denial of service attacks?
C. The answer is C.
C. Azure DDoS protection.
Yes, exactly.
C.
Okay. Number 4, which service encrypts data in Azure by default?
That should be
B.
A. Azure Key
B.
Vault. Exactly. B.
A.
The answer is there. It's clear.
A.
It's B.
Yeah.
The answer is clear.
B.
The service encryption.
B.
So encryption is already there. So it's not really something you need to think about that much to get it. So which service protects identity in Microsoft 365?
B. Microsoft Defender for Identity.
B.
Exactly. Thank you very much. Microsoft Defender for Identity. Microsoft Defender
That's
for
clear.
Endpoint. That covers for devices. Then
Yes.
we also know about the cloud apps and Office 365. Yes, so that's what it's all about. Then number 6, which Microsoft Defender product helps protect against phishing and email-based threats?
B.
B. Defender for
B.
Office.
Exactly. So the person that was asking about XDR, this is what is under XDR. We have Defender
Yeah,
for
I get it now.
Endpoint, for Office, for identity.
So
For
the
identity.
question number
and
4, you
this
say which
one.
one is the answer? Number 4, you say which one is the answer?
B.
B. Azure Storage Service Encryption.
Please, what is the answer to number 4?
B. Azure Storage Service Encryption. Okay, number 7. Which 7? Okay, you've already done that. Sorry, I missed it. Okay, number 8.
Please,
what
what
does
is the answer to number 6? Number 6 is B.
Number 6 answer,
Number
please.
6. Okay, the answer to number 6 is B. The Microsoft Defender for Office 365. Why? Is because phishing and email-based attacks are under Exchange, and Exchange is under Office 365. So that's why the answer is B. Do we understand why the answer is B now?
Yes.
Yes, because it's an email-based thread, and Exchange email-based is Exchange, which is Outlook. Then you find Exchange under Office 365. That's why the answer is Defender for Office 365. Sorry, I didn't know I was speaking on mute. Okay, number 8. What does Microsoft Secure Score measures?
B. Security no.
I beg, start number 7. Number 7, we are not hearing when you said I'll talk about number 7.
Okay, so 7, we've already answered it. Number 7, the answer is B.
Okay, repeat.
Azure Storage Service Encryption.
Okay, repeat.
Yeah, it was repeated. Number 8, what does Microsoft Secure Score measure?
B. Security
posture.
Security posture of Microsoft 365 environment.
Exactly. Yes, that's. And where can we find this Microsoft Secure Score? On which portal is it present?
Microsoft Defender.
Defender
No.
for cloud.
No.
No.
Under
yes, you are correct.
Purview
Purview portal. The person that was trying to say Purview, you're actually correct. So yes, it's
I was
Purview.
not so
Find
sure.
it in
That was
Purview.
why.
Yeah, you're actually correct. So it's Purview portal that you find it. That's where you find the secure score. Number 9, which tool is used for endpoint security in Microsoft 365?
Intune. Microsoft Intune.
Exactly. Thank you. Microsoft Intune. That's correct. Do we all know it or?
No.
Yes. Endpoint security. Intune is used for managing devices.
Yes, and yes, it's Intune because that's where you onboard your devices for the security. So that's why it's Intune. All right, are we all clear on that? We are moving to the 4th section of the exam.
Okay.
Yes.
All right, describe the capabilities of Microsoft compliance solution. That's the skill that will be measured in the 4th section. And here, that's 25 to 30% of your score. So we have Compliance Center, the Compliance Manager, Microsoft Privacy Principles, Service Trust Portal. You also be asked questions on information barriers. You also be asked communication compliance, insider risk management solution, a customer lockbox, privilege access management, which is the access for the global admins, the executives in the organization. Then we also have DLP, which is data loss prevention, record management, retention policies, and retention labels. I know these topics have been covered by now. Maybe it might not be really be taught much, but the person but it must have been covered by now for you to by now you should have idea of what this topic is all about, because you will find questions on that on the exam.
Yeah. We covered.
Okay, thank you.
Data loss policy.
All right. So tips, the Microsoft Compliance Center brings together all of the tools and data that are needed to help understand and manage an organization's compliance needs. And there you will find the global administrator, compliance data administrator. So if this compliance administrator is it covers for Purview. So even if you want somebody to have access to Purview portal, but you don't want to give the person global administrator rights, by giving the person compliance administrator, the person have full coverage in Purview. Also, we have the next is Compliance Manager is an end-to-end solution in Microsoft Compliance Center to enable admins to manage and track compliance activities. Compliance score is a calculation of overall compliance posture across the organization. The compliance score is available through Compliance Manager. So I don't know, by now you must have created your tenants. Is that correct? Am I right? By now all of you will have your test tenants, because tomorrow we'll be having our first lab, and I expect us to participate with me tomorrow on that, which will be covered tomorrow. So then we also have Azure Resource Lock, which is prevent users from accidentally deleting or modifying a critical resource, and can be applied to a subscription, a resource group, or a resource. We have Azure Blueprint, makes it possible for development teams to rapidly build and start up new environments. We also have Azure Policy, which helps to enforce organizational standards and to assess compliance at scale. And also DLP, admin can identify, monitor, and automatically protect sensitive information across Microsoft 365, OneDrive, SharePoint, Exchange, and Microsoft Teams. So now moving to the questions. All right, what does the Service Trust Portal offer? Does anyone know? A, security baseline for Azure, compliance reports and audit documentation, endpoint protection policies. D, network traffic filtering.
B, compliance report and audit.
B, compliance report and audit.
Yes, that's correct. B, compliance, reports and auditing. Okay, which feature helps classify and protect sensitive information in Microsoft 365?
A, sensitivity label.
A.
Sensitivity level.
Sensitivity
Yes,
label.
that's correct. Sensitivity label. That's correct. Sensitivity label. Number 3, what is the purpose of retention policies in Microsoft 365?
B, to manage how long
data
data
is
is
kept
kept
or
on it.
deleted.
B.
Exactly,
How
that's
long
correct.
data is kept or deleted.
Yes, that's correct. That's what retention policy is all about. Number
Please
4,
come
which
again. Let me call the
capabilities?
answer.
Which
Sorry, can you
capability?
please come again? Number 3, please. I'm lost. Sorry.
Okay, number 3, sorry. Number 3, uh, what is the purpose of retention policies in Microsoft 365? Is to manage how
Okay.
long data is kept and deleted. Yes, the retention there, even if you don't know, it will give you an idea of what it's all about. Retention is to keep. So that's the answer. So it's pretty much self-explanatory. All right. Number 4, which capability helps prevent accidental or intentional data leaks? A, data loss prevention.
Data loss
Azure
prevention.
Firewall.
So it's data loss. It's
That's
data loss
correct.
prevention.
A. Data
Yes,
loss
that's
prevention.
correct. And number 5, what does insider risk management in Microsoft 365 help detect? Do we know?
B,
Malicious
malicious or risky
or
Malicious or
malicious
risky
activities
activity
against
by internal
by
users.
The answer
internal
is
users.
B.
B.
B from internal.
Yes, B is the answer. Malicious or risky activities by internal users. Yes, that's correct. Number 6, which feature enforces restriction on communication between specific groups or individuals?
Information barrier.
Condition.
Exactly. Thank you. Information barrier. Do we need explanation on that?
Just
Yes,
explain.
please.
Yes.
Go ahead, please.
Okay.
Explain.
Okay, information barrier. Organization uses it to restrict communication between groups. Let me explain in a simple way. In your organization now, you don't want people in finance, which is the monetary part of the company, to have communication with people outside the organization. For example, you have a Teams group. In Teams, we can have communication with different people. But information barrier is what you restrict communication from people in finance department from reaching out people outside the organization. So I don't share information about the company's finance or share documents and stuff like that. That's what information barrier is all about. Use it to restrict in communication between individuals and group. For example, you don't want also. Yes, that's actually what it's used for. Simple. It's just to restrict information between sensitive groups in your organization. For example, the HR, the finance, the executive. There are some informations, sensitive data you wouldn't want people in the lower level to have access to, or people there to have communication with those people. This is what you use, information barrier. You use information barrier to restrict those communication between the two groups. So that's what information barrier is all about.
Please, I have a question.
And I can hear you.
All right, thank
All
you.
right.
I just want to confirm, is there a difference between this and data label and DLP?
DLP, yes, data label and DLP is different. Information barrier is more like a setting, a policy. Then the system is acting on that policy. Then we said the next one was data loss or data label. So label is more like you are labeling your document. You can label and still not protect it. For example, I can label a document and say this is confidential, but it's not protected. There's no policy acting on it. It's simply a mark. A label can come in as an encryption, which is protection. It can come in as a mark. So more like tell this person this is confidential, don't share. But if you don't lock it, I can easily share it. It's just people. That's why we have encryption part of all these policies, because in as much as you have labeled your document that this is confidential, there are still people in your organization that will still go ahead and share it with people outside the organization, knowing fully where it's not supposed to be shared, but they end up sharing it. So because of that, that's where these barriers comes in, the policy comes in. It's more like is an added layer of security. Because yes, I have given you an admin rule, but that does not mean I should trust you. That's where this policy comes in, because human beings are human beings. No matter what you do, they'll still do what they want to do. In as much as you've seen some, even by now, we've seen on the internet, social media, where we see documents that have been leaked and it's saying confidential. So why are we seeing it? These are why organization put in place information barrier, data loss prevention, retention label, all this sensitivity label. Because why? People can still not be trusted, even though they see documents confidential. So that confidential is a label. You've marked this that is confidential, and confidential means that you cannot share with somebody, but still people do that and still end up sharing with people. So because some organizations know that even though that this is marked confidential and there is a policy or a tips that is prompting you, please don't share with somebody outside your organization, there are still people that will go ahead and share. That's why all this DLP comes in. So whenever the person still wants to go ahead to share it, DLP, which is data loss prevention, comes in and block the person from sharing it. I don't know whether what I explained now is very clear.
Thank you. Absolutely clear. Thank you very much.
Yes, that's what it's all about. Okay. Sorry, can you mute yourself? Please, you guys. Thank you very much for that. So that's what label and DLP is all about. Label is just marking the document, and also you can also apply encryption. Then DLP is simply preventing somebody from sharing something, even when you have stated on your document that please don't share. Then some people will still go ahead and want to share. So when they still want to go and share it, that's where DLP comes in and block the person from sharing it. So moving forward, number 7. What is the primary purpose of eDiscovery in Microsoft 365? A, to encrypt sensitive data. B, to identify who would export content for legal or compliance investigation. C, to configure MFA policies. D, to monitor network traffic.
B, to identify who would export content for legal or
B, to
compliance.
identify who would export
But
content
please, would
for
you talk
legal
more about
compliance
eDiscovery? Because I'm sure most of us
investigation.
have idea about it.
Okay, okay. eDiscovery is a feature in Purview that company use to keep content and for legal purposes. For example, I will say, let me use a simple understand to describe eDiscovery. eDiscovery is more like something you use to investigate someone in your company. For example, you have a user that have been working with you. Maybe the person is working in finance, and the person, you know that this person must have had communications with different users or must have done something. Sometimes it doesn't even necessarily have to be that way. But e-discovery is something that keeps your data pending when is needed for legal actions. For example, it's not every emails that your users are sending that you are aware of, but with e-discovery, you can get a hold of all those information. You've seen somewhere where a staff resigns and is suing the company for something. E-discovery is what helps the organization to get a hold of the content of what has transpired with the user in the company and bring it to court. Like, oh, this is what has been found. So e-discovery is more like a discovery,
Evidence,
a
right?
search, evidence, yes, for legal purposes. For example, you have a situation where maybe somebody in your organization has been sending emails, have been sharing content like data, payroll to people, leaking your information. But the person is not aware that there's an e-discovery that has been enabled in your organization, which is called hold. Hold is what you place on users to keep every information that they've everything they've done in your organization is what we call hold. You keep it. Even if you go to your email and delete emails there, and your mind, yeah, oh, you've escaped. I did something, I shared something, and you deleted the communication from your own end. Maybe the person has been deleting, thinking that he's safe. Sorry, you're not safe. Your organization still have those information back end. The only time you know that they actually have that information, if maybe you wake up one day and feel like you want to go and sue them for something, you think that you are safe. No, they will easy discovery that they will use and get those information of everything you have done in the organization and present in court. So mostly it's used for legal purposes. That's what e-discovery is all about. Use it to find a document. For example, a user maybe mistakenly deleted an email in your inbox. You want to find the email. You use eDiscovery to search for the email because eDiscovery keeps content. That is the hold. Keeps a hold of all the content and all the information within your organization. So it's eDiscovery that you use to find them. So I don't know if that's clear.
That's clear. Thank you very much.
Yes.
Yes. So that's what eDiscovery is all about. It's just simply a tool you use for searching content and data for legal purposes in your organization. Okay, number 8, which workflow allows advanced search and case management for legal investigation?
Advanced e-discovery.
Advanced eDiscovery.
eDiscovery.
Exactly. Advanced e-discovery is actually clear. Advanced e-discovery. So, number 9, what is the purpose of Microsoft Compliance Center?
To configure compliance-related settings and
Compliance-related
policies.
settings and policies.
To configure compliance-related settings and policies. Is that?
Yes, that's the correct answer. Thank you very much for that. Thank you very much, everybody. That's the end of the skills that are measured in this. I think that should be it. Yes. That's the end of the skill that are measured in this.
So can we
Yeah.
see the last question?
That's basically all of them. The last question.
I need to see the last question.
All right. So done. Okay. So that's the last question. What is the purpose of Microsoft Compliance Center? To manage network security groups. Sorry, to configure compliance related settings and policies. So Compliance Center is where you create policies. That's where policies are being managed in the organization. For example, all these policies we've been talking about, the DLP, you find them in Compliance Center. The sensitivity label, you find them in Compliance Center, which is currently Purview, what you know as Purview. So you find them in Purview, you find data loss prevention in Purview, you find insider risk in Purview, you find information barrier in Purview, you find retention policy, the labels in Purview. Anything that has to do with data security for M365 is the Purview, which is the compliance center that handles all of them. That's what Microsoft Compliance Center is all about. It's where you configure your policies and manage them. Is that clear?
Yes, that's clear.
Very clear. Thank you very much. I'm okay.
Right.
Thank you.
I have a question.
Thank you very much for that. All right. All right. What's your question?
I want to ask, the way I'm seeing now, this cloud security is almost the same thing as Microsoft 360. So for you to write the exam, you also have to know Microsoft 360. Because the questions I'm seeing here are also coming from Microsoft 360. Is that it?
Okay, now. Purview is under Microsoft 365. Is why you're seeing Microsoft 365. So it's not the Microsoft Admin Center that you're going to be asked about. There is Microsoft 365 main admin center. That's general admin center for all the features and portals in Microsoft 365, all the services in Microsoft 365. Then under this Microsoft 365, we have Purview, we have Windows Defender, which is security. We have identity, we have SharePoint, we have Teams, we have Intune. All these are found under M365. But for the security part of it, that's the Purview and the Defender and the Entra, which is identity. Under security, we have identity, which is the Entra ID. We have Purview, which has to do with the compliance part of Microsoft 365. Then we have security, which is Windows Defender, which is not Windows, Microsoft Defender, which covers for the security part of it. I don't know whether that's clear, but it's not M365 per se, but they are all under M365.
But it is good for you to understand the M365 if you want to go into it to understand the detail of it as well.
Yes,
Is it good like
you
that?
need to understand M365. Yes, that was why you have to create your tenant. You start by creating tenants. In your tenant, you will find all these features. Just hold on. Let me see if one of my tenant is open. Let's see. Okay, this is the admin center. So in this admin center, you see security. This is Microsoft 365, the general admin center. That everything is housed inside here. So under this Microsoft 365 admin center, you find security, you find Purview, you find identity. So this 1, 2, 3. Then Azure is what makes up the security part of M365. Then the messaging part of M365, which is the exchange, is the messaging part of M365. So all this Microsoft 365 has this different section: the security, the compliance, the messaging, the storage, which is OneDrive, the communication, which is Teams, SharePoint. That's where the comes on. The applications, which comes in the Power Platform, the Power Apps. I don't know if this is clear, but yes, you need to have a basic understanding of what Microsoft 365 is all about for you to understand all this. Having an understanding of what Microsoft 365 is all about is actually very easy and basic. It's just knowing how to create your users, groups, That's all. And rules. I think that's what, and the licensing. That's just what's in the Microsoft 365 Admin Center. But all the other part of it is all in other Admin Center. But this Microsoft 365 is just simply your user, where you create your users, groups, the license, apply license.
Okay.
Too. That's what, yes. And the rules, which is what we're talking about, rules assignment. That is where you do them. Is that clear?
Yes, very clear, very clear. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
All right.
All right. We'll be moving on to the security SC-900, the admin center. Sorry, the platform. All right. Here, like I was saying, for you to prepare for your exam, you have to go through these topics courses here, which
Please, you
is
can drop us the
the
link
4
so that we
topics.
can get it.
All right. Let me add it on the group chat. On the Teams chat, you can open it. So you have to go through these courses, and is 2 hours. I think 2 hours. Then on the first one is 52 minutes, almost 1 hour. So you go through through this course. Then this is the practice assessment I was talking about that you have to take. You have to get it. Make sure that when you're doing, you have to get 80% of it, more than 80%. More than 80%. Every time you just keep practicing with it, it will help you with your exam. Also, I think so. Also, we have let me go back, the exam demo. This sandbox is what will give you experience on how the exam looks like. So basically, when you're writing the exam, you're going to see something like this. You say, yes, I agree. Then you have information like this. How many hours? This is just a sample, but the exam is 60 questions. I don't know if that's changed, but the time I wrote it, it was 60 questions total. There's no lab. 60 objective question, and in that objective question, you see drag and drop. Let me go next. So you see what I was saying about drag and drop.
Big deal.
So this is how the exam will look like. Like I was saying. Please, can you mute yourself? Please, who is? Thank you very much. All right, so this is how the exam looks like. Like I was saying, it's going to be objective. There is no theory in it. So you'll be asked question. You select the one. If you're not sure, when you're writing this exam, if you're not sure that the answer is bad, for you to be able to come back to this question, please click on review later. That way you can come back to this question. Maybe when you are done with the ones that you know. Please make sure you click on review later so that you can be able to come back to the question when you are done answering it. So the question, how you do it is by the end of each, there is a standalone questions. By the end of this one, these questions, once you click submit or next, you will not be able to come back. But because you clicked on review later, which is where you have this review, all the ones you checked review will appear under review. It will help you to come back to the question and analyze it and see, okay, if it's your final answer, you just leave it and move on. Do you understand? But if you don't check review later, once you mark that answer, you've marked it. It will not appear under review.
Okay.
So when you're answering your exam, make sure that if you're not sure of the answer of that question, please remember to check review later so that you can come back to it. If not, if you don't check it and click next, you'll not be able to come back to that particular question again.
Okay.
So anyone you checked review later will appear under review once you are done with the standalone questions. So we check next. I'm trying to find the ones that are drag and drop. This is also for drag and I'm actually okay. Some are multiple questions. Which I said which two foods are make a great snack? You're expected to check 2 boxes. So you do that next. This is what drag and drop is. So this is how drag and drop is simply you match this by moving this to the drop area. You drag it and move it to the drop area. That's how you answer drag and drop. For the office, okay, this one is actually, let me just look for the current. Home is software. So you see, that's how you just answer the drag and drop. So I don't know if that's clear. So this is how you answer drag and drop. You just drag it and drop it on the drop area. Then next, let me see. There's other ones. This one is just building. Like they will ask you questions on steps. What are the steps in making maybe steps in cooking stew? Something like that. They will say, okay, like here they said, which 5 tasks should you do in correct order to create a ham sandwich? Still almost the same thing I'm trying to say. So you start by saying, okay, if the first thing is to place a bread on the container, you just do first one. It's just more like in order of how you do it. I think so. So that's just what it is. Just putting it line by line. That's how you answer this one. Questions like this, you sit in the exam hall. So this is more like to give you a on how the questions are asked. But there is no theory. There's no theory at all. It's drag and drop, building, and build list reorder ahead. That's what they call it. And normal checking of the boxes, which is your answers. Then this one is also, for example, the answer is simply this is they call it active screen. They might ask you what will you here they're saying a company is upgrading its client computer from Windows XP to Windows 7. You add an application to the Windows 7 base image. The menu on the title bar of the application is not displayed properly. Although other graphical elements are displayed correctly, you need to ensure that the application's menu is displayed correctly on client computers that run Windows 7. Which option should you choose to achieve this goal? So this is an active screen. If you notice when I move, you can click on something like that. You can check this. So it's called active screen. What it means that anything you click on, the system records it. The screen is active, so it records your actions. So that's how your answers are being captured by what you check, by what you clicked. Okay, maybe select Windows 7, you have selected it, anything you click here and click OK, something like that. So that's what this one is about. This is active screen. It's called active screen question. So moving forward, we have next. This also is an active screen. Here they're asking you maybe this your company has a private cloud that contains a system center. If infrastructure contains 4 servers, the servers are configured as shown in the following table. Create a user role on is an active screen. Select where you want to create it. Assign actions assigned to the user role. It's an active screen. That's just what it is. So these are how this is also an active screen. So anything you check, it's more like how the exam is going to look like. So next, which other one? Okay, this is also checking. So this is called XBit. How XBit works is you have a scenario based. Then after going through it, they will now come here and ask you your questions. So here they've given you your information. Sometimes it doesn't come like this. sometimes it comes the way here this place is looking like. But when you go through the actions, then you now come back to the question and read the questions, then you check the answer. Here is just checking the answer. There's not really anything. The exhibit is just to have an idea of what the question is talking about. That's what exhibit is. Just have an idea of what the question is talking about. Then it's at the end, after looking at it, you come back, then you check your answer, then you move on. Then here too is also the same thing. A policy editor. You're not really doing anything. It's just more like a question. These exhibits is what builds this question they are being asked. Without the exhibits, you don't understand what the question is all about. So you have to go through the exhibit, then you come back. Once you finish looking at it, you come back to your question. You come back to your question. Then from there, the only thing you need to check, if the answer is yes, check yes. If the answer is no, you check no. There is nothing you're clicking on this, and this. It's just more like what they use to build the question. Just have an idea of what it is. But where you're clicking that determines your answer is just these two places that I clicked on. Then next. So here, next. Number 10. This is just a multiple choice question. Same thing, A or B. Then I click next. Then here you click next. So this is what I'm saying about the review. For review, is only one that I clicked on. So if I click on it, I'll be able to review it. But the rest, I not check it for review. So I'll click on this. I'll be able to review this question that I clicked on. So that's just it. So when you check on it, then it actually came back. Wow, I guess that's changed. So what review helps you to do is to come back to your questions and make changes. If not, once you click finish session, once you click on this finish section, you will not be able to come back to these 11 questions again. Even if you go on and like, oh, you remember you made a mistake, you can't come back to it again. That's what that finish section is. So after the standalone question, make sure that everything you checked is what you want to answer before you move on to the case study. So the case study is more like, I know we've had questions before. We've seen case study questions before. So it's more like cases that you just go through what it's all about. Then after going through it, the requirements, they come back. Also, I will also advise when you are going through case study, please also manage your time, because time is of essence. Because if you spend so much time in one question, though on this fundamental, there is no lab. So what you find in the fundamental is the case study and the standalone question. There's no lab actually. So just know how to manage your time. That's just what it is. I think that's it for. So same thing. This is drag and drop, but it's under case study. You drag and drop it to the area. That's what drag and drop is. This is also normal checking of boss body. Case study is simply an overview. You read what they want you to tell you. Then all this information here is what will guide you to the question they are asking you here. It will give you an understanding of what the answer is all about. All this information here will give you an understanding, an idea of what your answer is going to be. But the question is simply which two requirements are needed for each switch. But with all these things that they listed here will guide you to understand which answer you're supposed to answer. Click on. So that's just it. When you also finish section, then you can come back to the case study. So that's just what it's all about. Then the next one, there's no lab, so I will not be going through the lab. There's no lab, so I will not be going through the lab. So okay, somebody say, how many times are we allowed to retake the exam? Okay, you can retake the exam, but after the first time, you're only allowed to rebook the exam after 2 weeks after you have written the first one. 2 weeks after you've written the first one, that's when you retake the exam.
Is that for this invoice or for another one?
That's for no, not for the invoice. It's for, like, for example, you booked the exam, you wrote the exam, and you failed. You're asking maybe, are you allowed to retake the exam? Yes, you come back to retake the exam, but you still need a voucher, or yes, or if you have money to book the exam again, but you can retake the exam, but it has to be 2 weeks after you have written the first one. That's when you retake the exam. And also,
so it means that you only have one attempt for the exam.
for the day, yes, for that time, yeah, only one attempt. The voucher covers only one attempt. So if you book your exam and you are going in, so you have to go in with the idea that you are going to pass. Not going with the idea, oh, I'm coming, I can come back and take it. No, that's not. Just go in that you're going to write it once and you're not going to fail. And that's what I want everybody to do. You go into the exam hall, you wrote it once, and you come out of it. Yes, 2 weeks after the failed attempt, yes. Yes, the retaking of exam, yes, you pay for it. It's still paid for. It's not free. You still have to buy the voucher, or whichever way, either by paying somebody to get the voucher.
Please,
Yes, there's a cutoff mark,
the price?
700.
Can you tell us how much exams, the clue of how much the exam goes for?
Okay, I will say the exam, let me open the 700 over 1000. So you're aiming above 700. 700 is the cutoff mark. Whatever you're writing, you should aim above 700. So that's why those skill, that's why you see those percentage beside those skilled measured, which means the higher percentage gives you higher chances of passing. And that's where more of the question will come out. But it's good to, like, know all of them so that you don't have to, like, what our advice is to go through all this, know them before you go and write the exam. The exam for this, for Nigeria, is $50. So Nigeria is $50. That is the exam. $50, but it's the exam. But you can get people that can sell the voucher. If you want, if you can buy the now. I think currently, Microsoft has enabled the Nigerian card. I think you can use your Visa and MasterCard now to, like, book the exam now. Before, you could not do that before. As of when I wrote I actually, okay, there was the time I wrote mine. There was a platform that was doing free fundamental exams for people that have not written. So that was how I used that through that platform. But I think they've done for this year. Maybe next year. I don't know if I still have the link. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Please, who
I
is
can hear you.
can you mute yourself?
Yeah, I can hear you. I see you can help us with the link,
Okay.
so that by next year we can prepare to write, as we are preparing ourselves. We are left there 1 month and some days.
Okay, yeah, I will check whether I will look for the link. I don't know if I have it now, or the platform. I've forgotten the name of that platform. They hosted fundamental exams for people. So I used that opportunity to write my fundamentals. So, but the fundamentals are $50 if you want to pay for them. Yes.
Oh, sorry. If you
It's
get the link,
$50 if you want to pay for.
All right. If you get the link, how are we going to get it? Is it on the WhatsApp group or somewhere? Dropping the link for us.
Okay, I'll drop it on the WhatsApp group. Yes. Once I
right.
get the because I won't be able to I'll drop the link on the. So it's just to follow up with them, pending the. I think they do the for every year. I can't remember, but I think over last year I don't think they did anyone, but they did for this year, which was around July. That's passed. So I don't know if they will still do another one by. So I was hoping that they would do by ending of by this period because there was a year they did it twice.
Okay.
Beginning of the year and ending of the year, but I don't know if they will do that this year. But I'll put the link on the WhatsApp so that you can follow up with them, pending when they will do for the next year. But it's a yearly stuff, so you can utilize that chances. You're welcome. Okay, any other question? We'll be rounding off in 4 minutes. So I don't keep you guys here. Also, make sure you utilize the YouTube, the security, Naija Security YouTube channel. I don't know, you're supposed to follow up and subscribe to the YouTube channel. I've gone through those videos there. You will find all this information about these features, different classes on it to get more understanding. Also, you can also look inside YouTube. You can find people. There are also people that are post questions and answers, likely questions and answers you can find on these topics. It will help you more. Yes, it's good. Thank you very much for subscribing to that channel. You should everybody, I encourage everybody to do that. It will help you pass your exam. So that's it. Any other question? I have 3 minutes more. Any suggestion? Is there any suggestion? What do you want to suggest? You can.
This is dropping. You drop this now on the YouTube for us. This link for us on the group.
Yes.
The class.
On the WhatsApp group. Yes, it will be added to your. The class will be added to the WhatsApp group, and also the channel. The platform I was talking about. I'll also. For the questions and answer for YouTube channel, I don't have their name, but what I'm trying to say, you can browse the topic, like Microsoft security or SC-900 YouTube. You see people that have done teachings on the topics. But I advise everybody to follow the Naija Security group. You find all your information and subscribe to it. I think every month or every week they do a deep dive on security, Microsoft security, and they add it on the channel. You just go there, and get your information. So.
Right. I get that. Okay.
Yeah. Somebody say he's still not on the WhatsApp group yet. I don't know. I'm not an admin in the WhatsApp group. That will be related to Oyimafu, which is Emmanuel. Also, someone said I want to make a correction. You said secure score was on Purview. It's actually on Defender. Okay, thank you very much for that. So any other question? In the absence of no question, I think we'll be rounding off 6 p.m. We're actually on the clock. I didn't know I will be able to. I was thinking that I might over my. So thank you everybody for your time, for staying on the call. Thank you for your participation and for making the class very interactive. I appreciate. And tomorrow we'll be going into our first lab. So I want you all to come prepared. Tomorrow we are doing our first lab, and that will be your assignment. Tomorrow I'll be giving an assignment on your lab, your first lab. So I hope by now we have our Microsoft tenant, and also we are getting familiar with the admin center. So that way, when I'm doing the lab tomorrow, so we don't get confused or where I'm going to or what I'm doing. So just as you have created your tenant, just get familiar with it. Practice every day. That's what I do. Even when I'm not doing it, I just open the admin center and kind of click and know what this is all about and where this leads to. If I make changes here, will it affect any other feature? Stuff like that. Just practice. That's just it. So
Thank you, ma'am.
thank you very much too.
Thank you.
Thank you, and
thank you.
see
Thank
you
you very much,
tomorrow.
Chidinma. Thank you. Thank you everyone for joining. The feedback form is on the chat.
Yeah.
Kindly fill it and
thank you.
Just follow the steps. Thank you very much, Chidinma. This is an amazing section. Like
Yeah.
very, very amazing section.
Thank you very much for
Thank you.
You're welcome. Have a lovely evening and happy weekend, everybody. And see you guys tomorrow.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye. Thank you. Bye.